Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on wherever you're joining me from. I'm Dr. Adiola. I'm a psychiatrist, a mental fitness coach, and the founder of Talk Mental Health. Thank you for joining my live. As you're joining, tell me your name and where you're joining from. Kindly confirm if you could hear me loud and clear. I live in the UK and it's very hot today. So I just want to know how you're doing from your end. Your name and where you're joining from. I'm Dr. Adiola. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm a mental fitness coach. I'm the founder of Talk Mental Health. I'm very passionate about the things I do. I help people become better persons, teach them how to be intentional about their mental health. So thank you so much, Olazi. Please tell me your name, where you're joining from. Let's connect in the comment section. How has your weekend been? How have you been? Godfred from Accra, thank you for joining. Your name and where you're joining from. Ayobami from United States. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Ayobami. I was going to say Olazi. So you see, this is the reason why I ask for us to tell us our names and where we're joining from, because Olazi is actually Ayobami. I was going to call him Ola, but he's Ayobami from United States. So just tell me your name and where you're joining from. I can see Olaide from Chicago. I can see Leke from Ibadan. That's where I was born. But I'm bred. Jennifer from UK. Thank you. Thank you. As you're joining, share the video, share the live, let people join. I'm a psychiatrist, I'm a mental fitness coach. I live in the United Kingdom. And I thought to come on live today to talk about why you need to forgive and let go. Martha from Namibia. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I'm seeing new names, I'm seeing new people that I've not known for a while, that you just followed me. And I'm so grateful for every one of you. William from Canada, thank you so much. Thank you, every one of you, that you've chosen to follow me and to, connect with my content, engage with me and all of those things. I am really grateful. Okpe from UK, thank you so much. There's not going to be Dr. Adiola online. If you're not engaging with my content, then it would be nothing. It wouldn't be as interesting as I have it here. It's because you are here. That's why I can create even more content, even more information about your mental health. I can come on live and continue to do this. So I'm really grateful. I appreciate every one of you. So please share this live. What you can do for me now, share this live, share it, let people see, and come and ask your questions. Ask your questions. I'm a psychiatrist and I can answer any of your questions here. Thank you so much, Adal Kuru. Thank you so much for appreciating me. Dabere Chuku from Abuja, I see you. Shola from Abuja as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to start today's live session by asking, has there been any time that you struggled to forgive? I want to know whether I've chosen the right topic. By the way, if you're not following me, of course you're wrong. Perhaps you just stumbled on this live session and you've never followed me. Just go and follow me, because you will definitely miss out on the great mental health contents I create. All right. So that's number one. Number two, don't just follow me. Turn on your post notifications so that you can see my content, right? That's the second thing. And number three, I share a lot of things in my story, like everything that happens, some insights come to me that I may not be able to put on my feed, but I put it in my story. So if you're not checking my stories to see the things I share, you're also missing out. So even if you're following me, you're waiting for me to share content, and you're not checking my stories, you're missing out. Thank you so much, Aramide. Thank you for appreciating me. You're missing out. So, for example, I shared a few days ago questions. I asked you guys questions about what would you like me to talk about? What topics would you like me to talk about? Anything that is related to mental health, of course, that you like me to talk about. But only a few people responded. So I just had to think of this. So if there are any topics you would like me to address, if there's anything you want me to shed more light on, this is the right time to do that. Just either you send me a DM or you drop it here. I hope I can get it, but I think the best is just to send me a DM, or make sure you check my story. I'm going to put the question there again. And once you can answer, in my story, then I'll have like a compilation of the topics, and I'll pick them maybe once every week and discuss them. Okay? But today we're going to talk about why you need to forgive and let go. And I've asked this question: has there been any time that you struggled to forgive? Has there ever been any time? Some people might find it easy to forgive. So I just want to see whether I'm talking to the right audience, the right set of people. Has there been any time that you struggled to forgive? So just put in the comments, yes, 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 or yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Ibirogba said, every time I meet the person who offend, I get annoyed. Thank you for being transparent. Thank you for being honest, Ibirogba. Okay. Do you think you've forgiven the person, Ibirogba? Do you think you've forgiven, that you felt offended anytime you see them? Are you assured, are you convinced that you've forgiven the person despite getting angry, when you see them? All right, so Ibirogba, if you can answer that. So Real Chioma said yes. So Real Chioma is answering the question I asked about whether there's ever been any time you felt angry. Sorry, you struggled to forgive. Has there been any time you struggled to forgive? Has there been any time you struggled to forgive? So that's my question. Real Chioma said, I feel pain when I see someone who hurts me doing well with their life. Wow. Chioma. Wow. You see? Shoyemi Okpo. Sorry, I'm Yoruba, by the way, so I'm supposed to be able to pronounce this name. I don't know why. Okay, I'm just going to say Okpe. Okpe said yes. All right. Ozozoma said, I forgive easily, but there's one person in my life I can't forgive. Why? Ozozoma, if you want to share, why can't you? Saying my connection is poor. But can you all hear me now? Why can't you forgive? Why can't you forgive, Ozozoma? All right. Chioma, I feel for you. Ibirogba said yes, but if there's no genuine remorse. Okay. Thank you so much. I like that you're saying this. All right. I like that you're saying this because it's helpful for me to know areas that I'm going to address, right? So, Ibirogba said if there's no genuine remorse, right? So that's why he gets upset whenever he sees the person that he has forgiven, all right? Or the person that hurts him. I think, was it Chioma that said that he hurts her anytime she sees the person doing well, right? So that's another way to, to address. Then another person said, I forgive people, but I find it difficult to forgive myself when I make mistakes. Wow. That's another part of it. Self-forgiveness. Okay. So I'm noting it down. Oh my goodness. I didn't come with my pen. I didn't come into this room with my pen. I can't even cite any pen here. But I think it's best to just address this as we go so that because I don't have my pen, I would have written it down. So I think the first thing I would say is about Ibirogba that said if the person does not have genuine remorse. But how does that make you feel, Ibirogba? The person does not have genuine remorse and then you get angry because of that. Who gets angry? Who feels the pain? Who feels the pain? Who experiences the negative emotions? Who is the person struggling? Who struggle, mentally just because the person does not have remorse, or genuine remorse, as you said, Ibirogba. So the point I'm trying to raise here is the fact that people, forgiving people doesn't have to be dependent on whether they change or not. Because let me bust your bubble, you can't control that. You can't change people. You can't make them to even ask for forgiveness. Some people will not even ask for your forgiveness. But you're forgiving not because of them. You're forgiving for yourself, for your own mental and emotional well-being. So Ibirogba, I just want you to go back and think and reflect on this. You hurt yourself more when you hold on to hurts and pains. You hurt your mental health when you hold on to unforgiveness. You hurt yourself. So you were the one that got angry, right? Just because the person was not remorseful. But hey, you can't change a person. You can't make them remorseful. No matter how much you speak, no matter what you say, you can't change them. You can't. God did not give you the power. God did not give you the authority to change humans. You can only work on yourself. And this is what I'm trying to tell you now. It is your own responsibility to forgive yourself, to choose how to respond when people hurt you, to choose to forgive and let go when people hurt you, whether they change or not. All right? So that's the first point I'm going to make. Forgiveness is not about people changing. Forgiveness is not about people changing their lifestyle. You are not even waiting to forgive because you are waiting for them to change, because that can never happen. All right? So it is, you're forgiving because you are thinking about your own mental and emotional well-being. If you think about what would happen to you, what you lose just because you are not forgiven, oh my goodness, you don't even want to think about it. And I'm going to explain to you, the pain, the heartaches, the emotional pain, the psychological pain, what goes on in your brain, the reason you're overthinking and overanalyzing your stress, the mental tension and stress you have, just because you're holding on to hurt. All right? You can't sleep at night because you're hurt. You can't move on with your life because you're hurt. You're still holding on to that pain. And I'm just here to let you know that that person might never change. Even till Jesus comes, the person might not change. But because of your own mental and emotional well-being, you have chosen to forgive. All right? So you have to learn to forgive. Ibirogba, you have to learn to forgive. And that takes me to my next question, Ibirogba, or my next statement. What can I do seeing repeat of the same action? So forgiveness does not mean you are enabling the person. Forgiveness is not the same thing as acceptance. Forgiveness is not the same thing as denial. Forgiveness is not the same thing as enabling. All right? So it means that you are probably enabling the person. It's okay to forgive and love from afar. It's okay to forgive, but you don't have to accept them back into your life. You have to start understanding the power of setting boundaries. You can't keep forgiving the same thing when the person keeps repeating it and they show that they won't change, and you keep letting them do the same thing to you over and over again. Say, for instance, you keep borrowing someone money and the person never gives it back to you, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I don't have the money," and then they come back to you again and you give it to them. You already know they will never give you back the money. Why are you allowing yourself, subjecting yourself to so much emotional pain? Why? Someone has shown you that I can't be trusted, though. They have put it on their forehead like this. I can never be trusted. Don't trust me. They've shown you their behavior, but you keep enabling them by letting them hurt you over and over again. So I'm not saying don't talk to them. I'm not saying don't be their friend. I'm just saying whatever it is they're doing repeatedly, you don't let them do the same thing to you again. This is where healthy boundaries come in. You have to start learning how to set healthy boundaries. All right? Forgiveness does not mean that person will change. Forgiveness does not mean that person will say sorry, okay? But you have to know that forgiveness is about you. And it doesn't stop from you forgiving the person. It also means that you are not letting them repeat what they've done to you again. This is where you set boundaries to protect your mental and emotional energy. Okay? So, yeah. Ozozoma, overthinking. We'll talk about overthinking maybe next Saturday by God's grace. So I hope that clears it, Ibirogba. I'm trying to go back to all the points that you guys have made, and I don't want to miss anything out, all right? So, Tutu Bab says, I forgive people easily, but I find it difficult to forgive myself when I make mistakes. This morning, I put a video on self-compassion. Maybe I need to talk about self-compassion again. So I need to talk about self-compassion because it is important. It is important for us to learn how to forgive ourselves. And by the way, when you say you forgive people easily and you don't forgive yourself, I find it difficult because whatever it is you can do to yourself, excuse me, whatever it is you can do to yourself is what you can do to others, because you can't give what you don't have. So if you are not forgiving yourself, you're likely not forgiving people. Perhaps you're just allowing them to, how do I call it? Like you are pleasing them. You are being a people pleaser. You are overlooking what they do that is wrong to you. Instead of, trying to set boundaries and protect yourself, you are overlooking it. It shows a lot of things. It tells me that you probably have so many things going on within you or your inner self. Perhaps you're struggling with low self-esteem. You are too critical of yourself. And it just means that if you can't forgive yourself, how are you able to forgive others? You're just allowing people to just come into your life and without any boundaries. So they just step over you and do all sorts, and you let them do it, but you are not forgiving yourself. Why? So that's how I tell people, sometimes you have to extend the same kindness that you give to others so easily. You have to do the same to yourself. All right? Because no one can be as kind to you as yourself. All right? You have to always remind yourself that I am human, and then I give myself grace. I tell you people, sometimes you have to stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, because many a times the reason why we struggle to forgive ourselves or even forgive others is because of how we were raised. You've been criticized all your life. You've had a lot of critical comments that are so much that sorry guys, I think I might need to, I don't know if you're hearing the noise in the background, so I'm just gonna try to ask my daughter to reduce her voice. She's enjoying herself, but I need to do that. Just give me a minute, please. Okay guys, I'm back. I just want to know if you're still here. Okay. Are you still here? Are you still here? If you're still here, tell me. Okay? Tell me. If you're still here. I think we're good now. So, Chuma, Tooth Babs, as I was saying, sometimes because of how we were raised, and we've had so many critical comments said to us during the formative years, we've internalized all of these critical comments, and the only time we were loved was when we did something that was, we try to please people kind of thing. If they keep, telling you you've done something wrong and then correcting you all the time for it and being so hard on you when you've done something wrong, you want to kind of prove to them that I can do something. And then when you do something good, they're quite kind to you, they're loving towards you, and you feel that affection. So in a bid to enjoy the affection, the love, the sense of belonging that you used to get when you were a child, because you've internalized all those things that were done to you, that was done to you when you were growing up, you do the same thing as an adult. And it takes a lot of intentionality to take a step back, reflect on these things, and understand why you are acting the way you're doing. Okay? So the fact that you can't forgive yourself might just be because of how you came up from, as a child. You just do any little thing, you just drop a plate or a cup, you're beaten for it, or you did something wrong, maybe it was an accident, you're not forgiven for it. So you have learned that you need to be hard on yourself because you feel like you have to do something better. So you forget that you are human. So I'm here to remind you that you are human and you are not meant to be perfect. Okay? You are not meant to be perfect. Only God is perfect. So you have to remind yourself that. And you have to unlearn this habit, unlearn this behavior. Tell yourself that I am human. I can make mistakes. It's okay. All right. And this will ease the need to be hard on yourself. I have a lot of affirmations. I'm an affirmation person. If you know me very well, I do a lot of affirmations. I stand in front of my mirror. I look at myself. I tell myself, yes, you can do it. Oh yeah, it's okay. You tell yourself, you have to tell yourself, I'm human. Yes, I made that mistake, but it's not the end of the world. I'll try again. Okay, so you have to toot baths. If you're still here or you're watching the replay, please go back and tell yourself, write down some affirmations and show yourself kindness. You need it, all right? You need to give yourself grace. You need to give yourself kindness. A lot of studies have shown that many people feel better when they are depressed, when they are anxious, when they start practicing self-compassion. Okay, self-compassion is very, very important. And I try to expand it. I try to do a lot of content around it. Perhaps I need to bring it back on live session like this and we dig deep into it. I've read a lot of books about self-compassion, and that has opened my eyes to realize that if we can only be kind to ourselves, honestly, there'll be a reduction in depression, anxiety, mental health issues that people have. The only reason you're overthinking is because you're critical of yourself. If you're kind to yourself, you won't lay in bed 9 p.m. that you are meant to sleep. You'll be thinking about what went wrong during the day. If you are kind to yourself, you will know that this is bedtime, so I'm not going to think about anything. All right? You tell yourself, I'm not going to think about nothing. Whatever happens today has happened. I'm not going to kill myself. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. Let me just comfort myself. I just wish I could open you guys' head and understand that you are human. I know that some people might be too critical on you as well. Some people might criticize you. The people you surround yourself with, if you're not speaking with grace, it might make it even hard for you to see yourself and be kind to yourself. Hey, it's time to start making adjustments and start cutting down some relationships. Anyone that is saying negative things to you, making you feel bad about yourself, perhaps you need to stay a little bit away from them. A little bit away from them. I know that Ibiragba has mentioned family members. Hey, oh my goodness. I know family members will be there, but it doesn't stop you from setting healthy boundaries. Family members or not, you still have to protect your mental health, because if anything happens to you, it takes a very long time to recover from some of these mental health issues. You don't even want me to start on it. I don't bring them on here. You see, I don't talk about depression. I don't talk about anxiety. I don't talk about schizophrenia. I don't talk about some serious mental health issues because I don't want to scare you guys. But then I pick the little bits, the skills that I know that if I talk and I elaborate on, the compassion, the gratitude, all those things, all those tools. If you can, focus on all of those things, I know you'll be fine. All right? So, Ibiragba, I'm just here to tell you that, whether family or not, the book, whether family or not, you need to remember that, I'm going to recommend the book. I just don't want to forget this line. You need to remember that your mental health is important. So please protect yourself. Okay? So the book I read, was by Kristin Neff. Mary, can you please type the book by Kristin Neff, Self-Compassion by Kristin Neff. I still have the book on repeat on my audiobook. I go back, I listen to it. It's more like, it's an audiobook that I got. I love listening to audiobooks. So I listen to it. Of course, I've read the book, but then I go back to listen to some parts, especially when I'm struggling. Because, of course, mental health is not always 100%. There will be days where you are like 50. There will be days where you are like 20. There will be days where you are like 80. So you need to always check, talk about it, read the books, practice these, habits, engage in activities that would keep your mental health up here. All right. So there's nothing like, oh, I'm okay. So that's the end. You have to ensure that you are working towards it every day. Like, be intentional about your mental health every day. So the book is Self-Compassion by Kristin Neff. Let me see if I can type it, but I won't be able to pin it because we're talking about what's it called? Forgiveness. I hope I spelled this name correctly. Please pardon me, but that's how the name appeared. She has done a lot of research about self-compassion. In fact, the book is amazing. Get the book. I recommend it. She's really done a lot of research, how it has helped with depression, anxiety, how, you know, self-compassion is more like the most important tool. And now we have, you know, we have CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, for people that have got depression, anxiety and all. But there's a third generation CBT that now incorporates self-compassion, mindfulness into the CBT. It's really helpful. It's proven that it works even better. If you get what I mean. We've always known CBT. If you don't know CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. It's a therapy that is evidence-based for people that have got depression, right? Thank you so much, Mary, for people that have got depression. And it's been there for years, all right? But we now have a third generation CBT that has incorporated mindfulness, self-compassion, even into that CBT. So it's not about changing the thoughts now. It's about, even though the overthinking is there, the negative thoughts are there, the emotions are there, but how can I be kind to myself in the midst of this chaos? Like, yes, I know a lot is happening. I can't change my husband. I can't change my wife. I can't change my boss. I am not able to even get a new job now. The work is toxic. The relationship is toxic. I don't even have an exit plan yet. But how can I be kind to myself amidst all of this? Yes, my past was bad. I made a lot of mistakes. Yes, oh, why did I choose that? Why did I do that? And then you keep repeating that in your head, leading to overthinking, rumination, and you have a lot of thoughts going on. You can't sleep. You have anxiety. Everywhere, everything is just like chaotic. All right? Self-compassion just comes in and helps you feel calm amidst the chaos. Like, it's the peace amidst storm. It is that compassion that will help you stay calm. It is that compassion that will, help you forgive yourself and say, oh, Adiola, enough is enough. You tell yourself, Mary, enough is enough. I'm not going to beat myself up. I did not kill anybody. Like, you just have to challenge yourself and tell yourself, yes, the situation is not getting better, but I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to, watch my movie, Netflix, and chill. Whatever it is you need to do to take care of yourself. This is what forgiveness means. This is what self-compassion means. This is what being kind to yourself means. Yeah, it's chaotic. Thank you so much, my sister. It is chaotic. But I miss that chaos because sometimes I know the chaos will not go. It will not end. Like, there's some challenges that will be there for as long as... I know we're talking about forgiveness and it's as if I moved to something else, but let me just finish this train of thought. Circumstances and challenges may not change, and it might just be the face of your life, right? It is just a season of your life and there's nothing you can do. See, if you just allow self-compassion into that place of your life, if you just allow self-compassion in that phase, honestly, it will be easier for you to sail through. Because, of course, it will never be the same forever. There will be a time that you leave that phase. But you can either enjoy, maybe not necessarily enjoy, you can either thrive in that chaotic situation or chaotic environment or whatever it is for you. You can either thrive or survive. So you can choose to thrive if you add self-compassion, not overthinking, gratitude, fill your cup up, try to take care of yourself, sleep well, exercise. You just fill it up because you know that I cannot take that chaos out for now. But you decide to fill your cup up with a lot of mental health tools that would empower you to pull through that period. Because it will not be like that forever. All right? So it is important for us to understand the power of self-compassion. It helps boost, transform your mental health. It just makes you feel like, whoa, I'm not gonna kill myself. Like, it's not as if you're not doing anything, but you're just trying to say things that are not within my control. I'm just letting them go. I'm not going to overthink. I'm not going to worry myself about it. I'm not going to cause myself stress over this. I'm not going to push myself to the point that I would now need antidepressant or antipsychotic for this. This is what you're trying to do to yourself. You are taking your power back. And the same applies to forgiveness. Either you're forgiving yourself or forgiving others. You understand that there are certain things you can't control. You can't change people. You can't make them say sorry. You can't make them remorseful. You can't even control them and tell them, you've done this before. You've always told me that you will not do it again, but you keep doing it. You can't change them. They have the responsibility to change. So it is your duty, your responsibility to ensure that they don't repeat the harm. They don't repeatedly hurt you. They don't always do the same thing to you over and over again. It is your responsibility. And how do you do that? Boundaries. Boundaries. Be it friends, be it family. I'm not saying chase them away. I'm saying just set healthy boundaries. You can live in the same house with someone and still set healthy boundaries. You can. It depends on how you see it. You can do it. Okay? So this is what I'm trying to say. Thank you so much, Mary, about the self-compassion. Please, let's get the book. It's really helpful. I'm trying to go back to the question again. To be honest with you, mental health is very important to one's life. Absolutely. I'm going back. I'm overthinking and over-ruminating. Can you recommend the books? Okay. Okay. I'm trying to read. I'm fighting to forget. Okay, Melis. Another thing about forgiveness we need to go understand is that forgiveness does not mean forgetting. So it may have said forgiveness is not acceptance. Forgiveness is not denial. Forgiveness is not enabling. Forgiveness is also not forgetting. The fact that you have forgiven, you can't wait to say, because until I forget, that's when I've forgiven. No. You've already forgiven. You may not forget, but you've forgiven. So you have to believe you've forgiven when you have actually forgiven. And yes, that will take me to when you see the person, you might be triggered, depending on how much hurt the person did to you. You might be triggered by the person's, by seeing the person or by saying certain cues that remind you of the person. And that's okay. Please, let's not go back to beating ourselves up and saying, I have not forgiven. You are forgiven, okay? You have forgiven. And I used to tell people that one of the ways you know that you've forgiven is if you even think you've not forgiven, if you just whisper a word of prayer for the person, try to pray for the person, try to wish the person well, try to, do those things. You're trying to tell yourself that I have actually forgiven this person. But it does not necessarily mean that you will forget, because you are not God. God is the one that forgives and forgets. We are human, so our brains are still functional. You will remember, because your hippocampus is very, very functional. Okay? The hippocampus is there, especially if it's something traumatic. It will register it and you will be triggered. So let me just tell you the truth. But that doesn't mean you've not forgiven. Okay? So what you do with the forgiveness is what determines whether you're actually protecting yourself. So like Iberiogba that says, family member keeps repeating and repeating. What are you doing? You're not doing something to protect yourself, because if you keep exposing yourself to the same situation, then that's when the problem is. Once someone has told you this is who I am, and they've shown you by behaving in such a way, and they're unrepentant about it, please please don't let them blackmail you, don't let them gaslight you, please. Just protect yourself. Like, whatever it is, I don't want to. There's mute button, there's block button, there's a lot of buttons. Please make use of these buttons. They are there for a reason. Your mental health is important. I'm not saying exclude everyone from your life. I'm saying when you're genuine that this thing is becoming something that triggers you and you can't deal with it now, it's okay to use all those buttons, okay? To protect yourself. It's okay to do that, all right? So I'm just trying to see if you have any other questions. I had a plan. My book is filled up here. I had a plan about forgiveness, but I like that you guys are coming up with questions and thoughts that I'm answering, I'm talking about. It makes it more interactive, because honestly, I don't want to just come here and start giving lecture. It's all about you, and I want to ensure that you get the best out of it. I have forgiven, but each time I remember it is still hot. Okay, Melis, I hope it's clear now that it's okay for you to remember. It's still hot. The emotion, it depends on how much of the pain how traumatized you were with it. Okay? So even if it still hurts, it does not mean that you've not forgiven. So you might have to start looking at how to self-soothe yourself, how to self-regulate yourself when you remember. Whether you need to start getting off things that will remind you of it, avoid the triggers, or you deal with it whenever you even come across the triggers and it hurts you. What do? You tell yourself, oh, well, that has happened. It's not my fault. The person did that to me. Perhaps I didn't know. I'm just trying to give, I don't know the context, Melis. I'm just saying that if it still hurts you, then perhaps you need to just tell yourself there's nothing you can do about it. It is in the past. I've forgiven. I've let it go. I'm not going to let it steal my joy. Use affirmations. Tell yourself, there's something about, if you read that book, by Kristin Neff, you see that there's a lot of compassion mantra that she would say we need to state, more like affirmation. So you affirm yourself back into reality, to self-regulate yourself. So it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. It's just that you're trying to adjust and try to manage that situation, because there are times that you can't even, sometimes when people hurt you, you may not be able, it's not your fault that they hurt you. Yes, it's very painful. Yes, you had high expectations and they fall your hand, right? But you have to not let it affect you so much that whatever is coming ahead of you, you won't be able to get it. All right? So I'm just waiting to see if there are other, So if you're still very hurt, Melis, you said you are traumatized. You need to heal. You need to start healing. So how do you heal? Well, you read the book that I recommended. You can also try to look for how to speak to yourself kindly. Of course, you know that you will not let the same happen to you again. You can't avoid the source. You can't. You can't avoid the source. Okay. So like I said, if you can't avoid the source, Melis, the best thing you can do is to fill your cup up, right? To the point that you have, like, you build enough resilience to withstand the situation. If you can't avoid the source, like it's impossible, like 100%, you cannot avoid the source. You have to, sometimes we distract ourselves. So there's a technique called distraction in mental health, treating some men in therapy, right? Whenever you find yourself focusing on something, that it triggers you, there are things that you need to know how to do to distract yourself from that. So if you can't avoid the source, I'm sure it's not all the time, right? But those times that you will see the source, you might have start thinking of, what will I do? Would I listen to music? Would I say my affirmations? Would I, whatever it is that would soothe you, that would help you regulate yourself, is what you think of doing. And you have to have planned it. It's not something that has to be done, you just bump into that situation. There has to be like a plan to say, whenever I find myself in this situation, this is what I'll do. And then you need to keep reminding yourself that, well, it's not my fault. I can't control this. I can't avoid the source yet. Or I can never avoid it. Whatever it is, you just say it to yourself and remind yourself that the situation is not within your control. So once you can assure yourself that you can't control it, then you have the emotional strength and resilience to withstand whatever comes from it. But I always tell people, if you're so traumatized, the best thing sometimes is to just be away from whatever triggers you. Like, just be away from it. Whatever triggers you, you want to stay away from it. There are some that you may not be able to, but you have to, now build how to regulate yourself around that situation, around those triggers. I hope that helps, Melis. Okay, guys. So as I was saying, forgiveness. Someone has said something. I'm trying to. I don't like missing some of these questions. Okay, we're talking about, if you're just joining, we're talking about why you need to forgive and let go. And we've said a lot of things. I think I've been on live. I can't even remember when I joined. About 30 minutes ago. Okay. And we've said so many things. Go and watch the replay. But if you have questions, please drop it. So Debbie has said, my heart pains me when I'm not happy with things around me or with someone. My heart. So Debbie, if you're still here, when you say your heart, is it like your physical heart or is it your mind? So what it is? Do you feel physical chest pain? Right? Or is it your mind? So if you're still here, can you just say, when you're not happy with things around you or with someone, when you're not happy, so you have to decide, what are the things that you are not happy about? Can you change them? Because if your heart is paining you, then you're causing your, then it's serious. Then it's not good for your mental or physical health. So you need to ask yourself, can I change my being unhappy about these things? Would it make any change to the things happening? So if I'm, for example, if I'm unhappy about how my bedroom looks and it's quite rough and, untidy, if I'm unhappy about it, will that help me to rearrange it and declutter and, arrange my room? If that is, then maybe it's a good emotion at that time. It's a good emotion that you're not happy. And then you try to arrange your room to make it tidy, and then you become happy. But if it is about changing things that you can't control, if it's about you thinking that you want to be in charge, you want to be in control, but you know that situation cannot be changed, then it's a waste of emotions. You have to remind yourself that I can't change it. I think one of the ways by which we can start letting go and forgiving, or trying to let go of the need to be in control, is to tell ourselves, can I change it? Whenever you find yourself overthinking and worrying about things, whether someone has hurt you or not, and you're holding on to bitterness, just tell yourself, can I change the situation? It has happened, it has gone, it is in the past, this person keeps doing this, whatever the situation is, can I change it? Once you tell yourself, I can't change it, then you have to let it go. You have to remind yourself, tell yourself, Debbie, I can't change it, so I have to let it go. Like, you speak to yourself and tell yourself, that is it. All right? So I just want to be sure that I've answered everyone's question. Okay? Affirmation works. Thank you so much, Melly. So going back to what we were talking about in terms of forgiveness, I need us to know that whenever you don't forgive, you do yourself a disservice. Whenever you hold on to bitterness, you hold on to anger, you hold on to hatred, hurts, whatever it is you're holding on to, you're doing yourself a disservice. You are hurting yourself even more than the person that has hurt you. Okay? The person that hurts you might not even know that they've hurt you. That's another thing. And you are there thinking, worrying, getting angry, bitter, not speaking to them. I'm not going to call them. I'm not going to do this. But the person is not even aware that they've done something wrong. Because sometimes it might be our own perception, right? The way we have perceived the situation that made us believe or think that one person has hurt us. But in the real sense, they don't have the intention to hurt you. Yes, I agree that some people will outrightly hurt you. Like, they scheme. Those people are schemers. They scheme negative things towards you, like our planet. For others, it might be accidents, like my kids will say, like, it's an accident, right? It's not intentional, right? For others, it might just be you thinking they've done something wrong, whereas they're not even aware. For example, you called, the person didn't pick up. You already said, oh, the person did not want to speak to you, that's why. Okay? You said hello to someone from afar. The person did not respond. And you felt, oh, the person does not like you. Perhaps the person wears glasses and did not see you. They were not putting on their glasses at that time. You have to start giving people the benefit of the doubt. You have to start making excuses for people. Not because you're dumb, not because you're trying to be gullible, but because of your mental health. You have to start making excuses for them so that you say, okay, maybe this, give them the allowance, give them like the benefit of the doubt, so that you don't hold on so much negativity in your heart. Let it be clear that someone has hurt you. Like, outrightly, you did this thing. And then that's exactly when you know that, oh, this person has hurt me. A lot of people hold on to so many assumptions based on their perception. It's your perception. And I know that we have this, this mirror, this distorted view of things based on where we're coming from. And that's okay. Yes, everybody is trying to learn, unlearn, relearn, and, make some changes. And that's fine. But you have to bear this in mind, that you have these biases, you have this mental biases, you have this distortion, distorted views. We all have it. So it's not that, oh, me, I don't have it, or it's not my portion. No, we all have it. So we need to remind ourselves and be sure that the offense you are holding on to is not distorted perception. It's not that you have a distorted view about that thing. And be sure that that person has actually offended. Have you asked them? Have you spoken to them? Have you confirmed? Have you checked? Because that's even the greatest form of unforgiveness that you hold on to. The person is enjoying. The person is probably eating chicken. And you've not been sleeping for nights. The person is enjoying life, drinking, having fun with their family and all that. Yet you are there overthinking and getting worried about it because you have thought or you've assumed that they hurt you. So please and please, we need to start learning how to, clarify. It's okay to ask. The other time you did this, did you mean this? Were you saying this? You're just trying to clarify and be sure. Okay? You need to be sure whether this person actually meant this or that. And that would just clear the whole thing. Have you ever experienced this before? That's what I wanted to say. Have you ever experienced this before when just because you had a conversation with someone, your there's a heavy weight that just gets off your shoulder. Like you feel free. If you have not slept, you sleep like a baby. If you have not eaten, you eat like you're very hungry. Just because you let go, just because you've resolved an issue. That's how powerful unforgiveness, take a hold on your life. All right? Unforgiveness is so heavy. It causes a lot of emotional pain. It will just stay there. It's like a burden that weighs you down. And a lot of studies have linked it to a lot of illnesses, both mental health, both physical health. You don't want to carry that burden, okay? So you have to learn to let go. I know it's not easy, but that's why I said learn. Learn to let go. Learn. You have to learn it. You have to tell yourself, I have to let it go. Some of you have said, oh, my parent did this to me. I will never speak to them again. Or some of you have said, oh, my friend did this to me. I will never speak to her again or him again. Or this and that. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Why? Not because of them, but because of yourself. Because of your own well-being. It just unforgiveness depresses you, gets you anxious, stresses you. It increases your stress level, increases cortisol, causes inflammation, increases your risk of having cancer, having depression, having anxiety, having sleep disorders. Why do you want to put all of those burden on yourself? Why can't you just let go? And I tell you the reason why it's difficult for us to let go. Sometimes it's because even for ourselves, we don't let go of our own mistakes. You've done something wrong. You have done something wrong to yourself. You've made a mistake. And you're still holding on. You're still beating yourself up. You're still getting angry at yourself. Okay? So one of the reasons why we find it difficult to let go is because we are not even able to let go of some of the pains that we've caused ourselves, of some of the mistakes that we've made to ourselves. So that's the number one. Number two reason that you find it difficult to let go might be because of your own ego, pride. How would you do that to me? I hold me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to deal with you. And you know what the Bible says about pride? It goes before a fall. You don't want that to have. You don't want to have a falling mental health. You don't want that. So pride. But remember, the only reason that you can let go is because you're also compassionate. And that's where empathy comes in. You kind of understand and say, okay, I know what you did was bad, but well, we are human. We make mistakes. The Bible says out of man is desperately wicked. So whatever thing they must have done to you, God already said it that we are wicked. The heart of man is wicked. So you have to make sure that your heart is not the wicked one by working on it. Renew your mind. Telling yourself, I'm not going to do this because I know it's bad. All right? So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when people do stuff to you. Like, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised because we are humans and we make mistakes. Okay? So pride is one of it. Like you said, thank you so much, Amber. Pride is one of it. And we just need to start checking. Why am I not letting go? Because if the table should turn now, do you think you want to be in that shoes? You don't want to forgive the person. But what if you were the one that has done that? Would you want to be forgiven? So sometimes we need to start thinking about that. Then the third reason might be because of how we were raised. Perhaps you didn't get enough of forgiveness as well. You were criticized, you were, always spoken to in a very harsh way. And you were told, oh, you can never be this and that. You were spoken to badly. You never experienced love. You never experienced care. You never experienced kindness. So if you did not experience kindness, how do you expect to get kindness in return? Okay, so why am I sharing this with us? I want us to start reflecting, so you understand why you act the way you do. Why am I not letting go? Why am I not forgiving? I know someone has asked, Funky Law has asked, how do we let go, right? How you let go is understanding why you don't let go. When you understand the why behind, the reason behind you're not letting go, then you know what to do, okay? And I've shared some reasons why you're not letting go. I've talked about pride. I've talked about you not being kind to yourself. I've talked about how you were raised, So it might be those reasons. So you need to sit down and reflect and find out the reason why you are not letting go. So until you unpack the reason, you may not be able to find out how to now let go. So if you know that it's pride, if you know that you're trying to feed your ego, then you need to start working on that and tell yourself, oh, I need to stop being proud and understand that we are humans. If it is because of how you were raised, then you need to start healing. You know that you're traumatized, so you need to start healing from that trauma and learn to start showing yourself kindness and forgiving and letting go. And then another way to let go is to make yourself understand or realize that you can't control things that are not within your control. If they're not within your control, there's nothing you can do. Okay? There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. If something is not within your control, you cannot, is that what I say, that God give us the wisdom? It's saying, I've forgotten the prayer. Oh God. Oh dear Lord, I've forgotten that prayer. If someone can remind me what the prayer is it a prayer or a statement, so that we can know what we can control? Give us the wisdom to know what we can control and know the difference, something like that. I can't remember on top of my head, but it's the wisdom to know the difference between what you can control and what you can't that matters. Once you can train your mind to realize that, hey, I cannot control this thing, that's where your freedom lies. It just gives you that power. The control you've been looking for, you get it when you can let go of the things you can't control. Okay? So that's where you start to let go. You start to ask yourself, you weigh the benefits versus the risk. If I continue to hold on to this, would it make my life better? What are the benefits of holding on to it? What are the disadvantages of holding on to it? So if you hold on to hurt, if you hold on to pain, if you hold on to people's rejection, whatever it is they've done to you, if you hold on to it and it causes you heartache, it causes you sleepless nights, it makes you overthink, who are you hurting? Are you hurting that person, or you're hurting yourself? So you need to start telling yourself, remind yourself that I am hurting myself. Oh, I need to stop. So that's just the reality for you to say, I am hurting myself. So what's the point? Some people will not, they don't even see you. That you're holding, you're not speaking to them. Like they're happy. They're happy that you're not even speaking to them. So, so who is getting hurt here? Temitope has said, what if you try to let go, but the person keeps upsetting you? Boundaries, Temitope. Boundaries. Why would someone keep upsetting you when you don't allow them? You only get upset when you allow people to upset you. Nobody has control over your reaction, over your emotions. It is your choice. Nobody upsets you. That's why I want you to change. Change that thinking. Nobody upsets you. Your children don't upset you. Your husband, you choose to be upset. They've done something wrong, but it is your responsibility to choose how you want to respond or react. Do you want to respond to this, or you want to react to it? So that's what I'm saying. If you guys can understand That's where your power is. To understand that nobody has control over my emotions. It is my responsibility to react or to respond. Okay? So, whatever they do, they show up late, they do, it is your responsibility to decide. I'm not going to react. I'm just going to respond. So that's where the boundaries come. That's where your emotional maturity comes. That's where your emotional intelligence comes. That's where a lot of things come in. And I know it's a lot of work. It sounds like I'm saying things that might not be easy to do. But be intentional. Be intentional. I'm saying put it to mind. I'm saying take note of this. I'm saying start working towards this. I'm not saying you'll be perfect today. I'm saying if you are consistent with this, it gets better. It keeps getting better. You feel better. You get better. You start to feel free within yourself, and you start to make the right choices in terms of how you respond to situations. Okay? So that people would not be able to just press the button, know what to do to get you upset. Nobody gets you upset. You choose to be upset. Okay? So I hope that is clear. I know it's a lot. I know it's mental health. I know many of those things can't be seen. And then many of them, there's no magic to it, right? There's no magic to it. You have to be consistent. You have to put in a little bit of effort every day. So yes, you try today, tomorrow you might be a flop, but it's okay. You get up again, and then you continue to try. So that's how mental health works. But you ever give up on your own mental health. Like, don't you ever say, oh, this is not going to work. Dr. Adeola is just saying this. It's not going to work. This man is annoying. This woman is annoying. I'm saying nobody annoys you. You choose to be annoyed. Like I said, boundaries. You choose to put yourself in that situation. So until we understand this, we will not know how much power we have. Amber said, yes, boundaries. Thank you. You have to make the mental decision that no one can upset you, because who upsets you controls you. Thank you so much for this advice. Absolutely. So it's your choice. It's your decision. And you have to make that choice. Respond, react. It's easy to react, honestly. Very easy. Just like a child. Imagine a child. They react. Any little thing, I want it now. They will scatter the whole place. They throw tantrums and all. But interestingly, most adults, they have the emotional maturity of an 8-year-old child. Most adults act like an 8-year-old when it comes to managing their emotions. Most adults. I just want you to remember that. So only a few people are taking intentional steps towards building their emotional strength, emotional resilience, and emotional intelligence. Okay? And it's until you are self-aware enough to understand how you feel and how others feel, you won't become emotionally intelligent. You can't build that emotional maturity. All right? So please, let's be guided, let's be reminded that our emotions, our reactions, our responses, whatever it is we do, is our responsibility. It's not anybody's. People can do whatever they want to do. It's whatever you do in response to what they do is your responsibility. So please, let's not push the blame until you can say, yes, it's my responsibility. I know I did that. There won't be a change. And you understand that you can't control that person. So you start working on yourself on what can I control in myself? What can I change in myself that would help me be a better person? All right? So, yeah. Thank you so much for everyone that joined. Are there any other things you would like me to say? I've got 2 more minutes. Any question? I know that one person has said they would like us to talk about overthinking. So maybe next week we might do that. But if there are other topics, topics you want us to discuss, don't forget, go to my lives. My story. Check my story every day. I put in a lot of questions. Please put the questions, answer the questions. If you have topics, put it there. Or you send me a DM about the topics you would like me to address. If I put content on my feed, please engage. I'm going to share this video. Before I say that, I wanted to ask before we end, just tell me one thing you've learned today. One thing. What's that one thing you've learned from this session? What would you take away from this session? What is that one thing you've learned from today? Talk about how to heal. Okay, noted. How to heal, overthinking. I will take note of those. All right, I will take note of those. So tell me one thing you've learned today. One thing you've learned today. Don't tell me that almost 1 hour of my time you did not learn anything. No, please tell me. Okay. Amber, turn on your post make sure you're following me and turn on your post notifications. Make sure you're following me and turn on your post notifications. Okay? So that you see it. All right? I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Okay? So, I usually go live maybe for weekends, most times, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, because I'm very busy during the week. So I go live weekends, but well, there might be times that I go live during the week as well. So please make sure you're following. Make sure you turn on your post notification and make sure you check my stories, because that's where I sometimes would put, I'll be going live this, I'll be going live that, right? Okay. Wow. We learned a lot today. That's good. Good. My response or reaction is my responsibility. Thank you so much, Funke. To forgive myself, having compassion on myself, taking it easy on myself. Fantastic. I'm glad we all got the message. Wow. That's good. So guys, I'm going to share the replay of this on my feed. You see all this comments you put about what you've learned. Please make sure you just help me put there, so that those that missed the live would see what they missed, and that would encourage them to watch it. All right, please, Tutu Bab, Tibi Tokwe, Funkilo, Okwe, Melis, Amber, please. All right, thank you so much. I'm just going to share it. Give me 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I'll share it. Just drop this comment. When you see it on my feed, so that when people see it, they would know that, oh, this the live session was quite helpful, and they will be encouraged to watch. I know it's about an hour, so sometimes we need to be persuaded, the encouragement to want to watch. So when they see your comments, they would want to watch it. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. The 2 topics that I have now, overthinking and how to heal, we will address them one after the other. If you have other topics, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Remember, I'm Dr. Adiola. I'm a psychiatrist. Mental fitness coach, and my passion, or what I'm very, very passionate about, is to educate and to make you more enlightened about your mental health, what you can do to ensure that you're very proactive about your mental health and prevent you from breaking down mentally, basically. So please make sure you're following me, and make sure you turn on your post notification. Make sure you tell your friends about me, so that they can also follow and learn from the things that I share here. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget to be intentional about your mental health. Have a good weekend, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you.